You may know Fresh Patch from Shark Tank, Oprah, or The Today Show. This is the Fresh Patch Podcast, where good pets get it. Sit back, put your paws up, and enjoy the show.
All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Fresh Patch Podcast. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're here on site at the Ventura County Animal Shelter. My name is Gabe. I'm here today with our guest co-host, Adriana. And
Hi.
we are here with an absolutely incredible guest today. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Hi, my name is Jules. I'm the marketing specialist here at Ventura County Animal Services. The majority of my job is using social media, photography, videos, really harnessing the power of the internet to get shelter animals adopted. I also focus a lot on education, pushing out stuff about our resources, our animals, and responsible pet ownership tips online.
Awesome. So we were chatting a little bit earlier, and you were telling me about how like the kennels are over capacity right now. You're really
Yes.
struggling with that, and it's because of like an increase in stray dogs in the area.
Yeah.
So tell us more about that, and then I also want to hear a little bit about like some of the initiatives that you guys are doing to like help,
Sure.
Yeah.
So we kind of generally are in a state of overcapacity or near to it. We ran some adoption promos at the end of last year that we saw really good results on. So we had a couple weeks where we were ending the day and we're like, oh my gosh, we have like 5 to 10 open kennels. This is amazing. But things just change so fast.
Yeah.
So for example, last week we had 71 stray dogs come in.
Wow.
I believe our numbers for like 2024, because I can't remember the 2025 number, is an average of 15 new animals come into the shelter every day.
Wow.
So when that happens, it's kind of like, okay, our kennel's already full. Where do we put them? Do we like double up dogs? Do we push out adoptions? Do we follow up with owners to like really try to help people reclaim their pets? So there's like a lot of levers that we're pulling on all the time to try to get animals home. So like right now we have fee waived adoptions going on.
Yeah.
And that's on all animals. So dogs is really like large dogs is always our biggest need. But if you want to come down and adopt like a cat or even a puppy, all of those adoptions are free right now. If you live in the county, it's like a $25 licensing fee, depending on where you live. But that includes all of our animals leave spayed, neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, flea treated. So
like
it's
a
a really
too.
good, we send like a collar and tag, little bit of food. And if you're like really in a pinch and you need more supplies, we're generally pretty available to like provide some of those things. So and then resources. Our number one goal when we can is really like to help people keep their pets. That's what we really want to do, whether that's reclaiming them if they end up here, or if we can provide certain things to help you keep your animal in the home. We have a community pet pantry. So anyone can come. It's kind of intended for like temporary assistance with dog food, but anyone can come, and cat food. And we will kind of get you what you need. We'll ask you how many animals you have, send you with like a bag or two of food. Sometimes we can, kind of give some help with maybe someone's got like a broken fence and their dog has been here 3 or 4 times. And we're like, why does your dog keep getting out? Like, can we help you repair this fence? We can help with that stuff from time to time too.
Nice.
And then, we know right now is a really challenging time for a lot of people, and we know not everyone is able to adopt, and we know that some people might be scared to come to a government facility to seek help for their animals or to adopt. So we always, want to remind people we don't ask any questions, we don't report any immigration information. Really, we believe that helping animals and helping people is kind of one task. So we really just want to make sure like your animals and you are healthy and happy, and that's all we care about.
That's super awesome. I mean, it's like, it sounds like you guys put a focus on like just making it as easy as possible for people.
Yeah.
To like come in and you know, help these animals find a home. I mean, that's the goal at the end.
Yeah, we do our best. You know, we're not always perfect, but we really try to serve the community as best as we can. Yeah.
That's awesome. I wanted to ask too, because you mentioned one thing is you can probably tell watching, it's a little bit windier today. Yeah. You had mentioned that something that happens with the wind is a lot of like gates fly open and stuff like that. Is that like a big cause of the increase in stray dogs, or are there other things impact?
There's a lot going on. You know, the wind can sometimes be a factor. Something a little hack we tell people is if you have like a gate that's like a simple latch and you can just put a carabiner through the hole of your gate to secure it, that can make all the difference. And like a lot of times people, they kind of shame folks when their animals end up at the shelter, and we try to be like, dude, the most vigilant pet owner in the world, like dogs are little menaces.
They
like,
are.
Gates will open, they run outdoors.
They will figure it out sometimes. Like they're curious,
they're mischievous.
They are. Life finds a way in that regard. So we also always recommend like keeping collars and tags on your pet. That way, like if they get out, someone finds them, they might not even have to come to the shelter. Or if they do end up here, we can get them reunited quicker.
Right away. Yeah.
So the strays right now could be a combination of like weather. We think a lot of it is also like finances. So maybe people feel like they can't afford to reclaim their pet, or maybe an increase of surrenders if people can't afford the veterinary care. There's a lot of reasons why. Yeah,
totally,
for sure. Yeah. For sure.
We're also by an airport, so
yes.
That's
is
cool.
A little loud, but
I saw that aviation museum.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I really want to check that out.
Yep. Every once in a while too, we'll send dogs on transports out of the airport, which is
Oh, no way.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So we deal a lot with like puppies, but we tend to hear that, you know, potty training is like a big issue when dogs initially get adopted. Do you think that Fresh Patch could help just kind of eliminate, you know, any people that have issues with like potty training and like they just adopted a dog?
Sure, yeah, I could see how, especially for people living in an apartment, something like that could be really nice, and it's a little bit less icky than a pee pad, right? So I'd imagine, are a lot of your guys' clients puppies?
Oh yeah.
I feel like?
Yeah, they tend to find us like when they're potty training, they just got a new puppy or thinking about getting a puppy, and so that's definitely a lot of times when people find us.
Your bread and butter a little bit.
Yeah, before dogs get their shots and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people want to introduce them to grass, so it's like kind of gives them a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Maybe gets them familiar with grass like ahead of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nice.
Absolutely. So how do you guys handle that around here? Like, I'm sure like you get puppies and stuff, and you have to take special care of them for, you know, before they get to their shots and all.
Yeah. So, you know, here we don't really, like, we are not a training facility. We do our best to like give the utmost high quality of care to all the animals here, but ultimately we're caring for, I think in our care right now, just like in person at the shelters, we have 220 dogs.
Wow.
And that's not counting all the dogs in foster. So within their kennels, the dogs have, most of them have an inside and an outside portion. So, and naturally, like the dogs don't want to use the bathroom like where their bed is at. So for the most part, they kind of get it and they'll use the outside portion. Same with puppies. When we have the space for it, we try to give them like two halves of a kennel. One half is a potty pad and one half is like their food and their blankie and stuff like that. But we don't really potty train the dogs here. Like people ask us and we're like, we don't really know. Like they seem to get the idea, but
to be fair, it does sound like you guys have a lot on your plate pretty constantly every day. So that's like, totally understandable.
Yeah. It's not completely the priority, you know,
for again,
taking
like
care of
we
so
do
many
our
dogs.
best, but our main thing is like basic needs and providing enrichment. So we try to give the dogs like chews, like Rain is working on. We have like an enrichment schedule of different like frozen goodies and stuff. If the dogs are dog friendly, they'll get out to play group. So we really focus on keeping them like mentally
Happy.
well at like a basic level. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you have any special stories? I mean, you've been here for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Us being here like a couple times in the last couple months, like we've seen so many special dogs around.
Yeah.
Do you have any special stories that really stuck with you of any dogs around here?
My own dog was a foster fail.
Oh, okay.
So I have a soft spot for like herding breeds. So she's a little cattle dog. And she came in like super fearful, kind of bitey. I fostered her for a while, and then eventually like a couple potential adopters came to meet her. They passed. She kind of needed a specific home, like no kids, no cats. We weren't sure how she was really with other dogs at the time. So finally, I think like 3 people passed on her, and I was like, all right,
you're mine.
You've already been at my house.
That's a sign.
Yeah.
For
You're
X
doing
amount
great
of
here.
years. Yeah,
Like.
yeah, exactly. Other than that, I mean, there's like so many stories, and I think about that a lot. Like in this field of work, the amount of just like emotional things that happen around us all the time is crazy, and that's why people in this field, I think, deal with like burnout. You deal with like emotional fatigue. The first like year I worked here, I was like, why am I so like exhausted all the time? And I'm like, I'm like absorbing
all this energy.
Yeah, all this energy.
The emotions and everything.
That's coming
Yeah.
in. So things that really stick with me though is like our long stay dogs.
For sure.
We have, I think, around 40 dogs who've been in the shelter for over 100 days.
Wow.
Some of them have been with us even for over a year.
Wow.
So sometimes you see those dogs like come in really fearful and they blossom, or sometimes it goes the other way and you see the kennel stress like really start to weigh on them.
Absolutely.
And you see them really decline. So we have one dog here, Casadano, who is our longest stay. I think he's been here coming up on 2 years.
Wow.
And he is kind of a unique dog that's a little hard to place because he gets kind of overwhelmed by petting. So like he'll come up to you and he'll lean on you so you can pet him, and then he'll be like, I'm done. And he'll kind of start to like mouth at you.
Yeah.
And I think he's only got like one real bite, and we have to consider anything that breaks skin a bite. So even if it's small, even if it's like it too scratches you, but I think someone just stuck their hands in the kennel and were like kind of messing with him. And he kind of nipped at them a little bit, which I think is somewhat understandable. Like that's, his space. You're sticking your fingers in there. We tell people not to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But his like vibe, his spirit is still like so bright and so great. Like he's really resilient. He's really loving. He's got people he really likes. So I admire him in that regard.
Yeah.
He's never really like faltered. Like he's a really cool dog. Yeah. Someone should adopt him. Every camera.
Yes.
Someone adopt Casadano.
What was his name again?
Casadano.
Casadano.
It's actually a combination of 2 dogs' names that look like him, and we think they were all related because they all came from the same area.
Oh, wow.
So there was Casanova and Dano, and he looks like a blend of them. So we named him Casadano.
I mean, how do you guys come up with the names? Because
Yeah,
I like some of them.
There's a section. Okay, I'm gonna make a guess here. Okay?
Yeah.
'Cause I saw a section over there. There was a dog named Draco. There was a dog named Luna, and I was like, oh, this must be the Harry Potter dogs.
Yeah.
Am I onto something there? Or
Yeah,
like,
we take in, I think, somewhere around 8,000 animals a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
And a lot of those are strays without any information. So we've just been making up names left and right. For a while, we try to get creative with the names. We can only have so many Lunas, so many Bellas, so many like Spots, Charlies. Yeah, those are some really common names. We will do like TV characters. We were doing cheeses for a while. We were doing like charcuterie board dogs. So we had like a prosciutto, Gouda, like Gorgonzola. Yeah, like really anything. We've had like dogs with Dragon Ball Z names. We, for a while, were naming dogs after princesses. So we had like Princess Peach, Princess Mononoke, Princess Diana.
Princess Leia?
Princess Leia, yeah. We try to be creative, and then we try to use their names for like marketing them too. Anything that helps them stand out. We, like,
helps them to stick.
That's
too,
a great
memorable.
Yeah. Rain. I don't remember if she came with her name or not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. There's no like snow or sleet.
No, she's not part of a. She's not part of a unit.
Gotcha.
Other than we do have a lot of huskies in our care.
Yeah,
I think we have
you
like
guys do.
30 huskies
Wow.
available to adopt. So
I noticed you guys have a lot of shepherds too.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of our coworkers has like a white shepherd.
Yes.
And I feel like I thought they were like such unique kind of dogs, but
Yeah.
But ever since Oakley, like we've seen so many.
all over the place.
white shepherds.
White
specifically.
shepherd.
yeah, white shepherds
Yeah.
like snow. Like
Yeah.
we have a joke because he sheds a lot. He's a big fluffy dude, and like whenever he's shedding, we'll always be like, it's snowing,
Yeah.
because it just gets everywhere. But
Yeah.
such a cool looking dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Husky and shepherd owners definitely. We're always like, if you need a lint roller with your adoption.
Oh yeah.
We
That's
give you a
smart.
whole
Whole
pack
pack of them.
You guys will definitely have to lint roll this couch after this.
That's-
so I
No
apologize.
worries.
That's fine.
Our white
Yeah.
shepherd Oakley is on that thing
All
like
over it.
all the time. So
Yeah,
I'm, sure
I'm
there's
surprised there
some-
wasn't any fur
Yeah.
on it
Yeah.
when we got here. So
Mhm.
Yeah, the
did a
bulk
good
of
job.
our population is huskies, shepherds, and pitties. I
Yeah.
think it's like about 30% of our population is
Yeah.
like each of those groups, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And those are some of the best breeds out
Yeah,
there. I think.
yeah.
I have, like I was telling you earlier, my dog's a pittie shepherd, and like he's just the sweetest, best dog ever. So
Aww.
yeah, I'm a big fan of those breeds.
Yeah, yeah. I think people also have, some people, it's getting better, have a misconception of that all dogs in the shelter have behavioral issues or they're not healthy or that there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
yeah.
And while we have just as much love for like our challenging dogs, right now especially, we have like a bunch of like really solid dog social, people social, like good family dogs who are just getting overlooked. So it's definitely a good time to come adopt, and you can always ask us for our recommendations.
Yeah.
We're actually doing a Valentine's Day event called Blind Dates with Shelter Dogs.
What?
We haven't posted about it yet, but basically I'll be posting like an online matchmaking questionnaire,
Aw.
and then people
Love
can
it.
fill out like information about their lifestyle, what they want out of a dog, what their house is like, and then we will pick like 2 or 3 dogs for them to come in and meet like totally blind.
Wow.
If you're open to adopting and you don't really care too much about like appearance, and you want us who know the dogs best to just like bring you some dogs on a platter, that's a really good opportunity.
That's
to do that.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that
Absolutely.
idea.
And it's fun, I love a good holiday themed
Yeah,
event.
Yeah.
I love a
Always-
theme. I love
Yes.
a theme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We recently featured one of your dogs, Hank, on our Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any updates with Hank? Is he still here? Did he
He's
find
still
his home?
here. Yeah, he's still waiting. I think he kind of falls into that category of overlooked. He's a gray pittie
Yeah.
in like a sea of gray pitties.
Mhm.
I want to say he's 4 or 5, so he's actually a really good age, like kind of
Yeah.
over the craziness.
Yeah.
But some people do want to adopt a puppy or like a young
Yes.
dog, so he just kind of gets overlooked.
Mm.
But yeah, he's a really nice boy. He's gone to like adoption events at pet stores.
Okay.
He's done really well meeting people.
Yeah.
He's active, but not overly jumpy or like hyper or anything like that. So he's still here. Yeah, he still
Yeah.
has a home. Thank you
We're-
guys for
yeah.
sharing him.
Absolutely.
No, we're rooting for Hank to get adopted.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's another one to, look at. And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We like hope, to hear.
Yeah, we'll go
Some
by his
updates,
kennel and
yeah.
say hi and give him some
That would be
treats for
awesome.
sure.
Yes. That would be awesome. Sounds like the kind of dog that really anybody could take home.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I think he'd be pretty solid
Yeah.
in like a family. I think that would be awesome for him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lots of people around. He's a people person. Huh?
Yeah, he does great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited to check in with him.
Yeah.
So, I know we just talked about Hank, and we got Miss Rain over
Mhm.
here, who's very lovely.
Yes.
But there's so many dogs here. I'm sure there may be like 1 or 2 other ones that you would want to put a spotlight on and just let the people know about.
Yeah.
We can throw up some pictures on and videos so that they can get
See
a
them.
look at them. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I just want to give you that opportunity.
Yeah. We'll do a quick celebration because the dog that I always would mention was Riley, and he just got adopted, I think, on his 600th day
Wow.
No way.
here by someone who drove 8 hours to come adopt him
Wow.
because they saw him, I think, on social media.
Oh,
That's
no
awesome.
way.
So we just got an update that he's
That's
doing really well.
Yeah, that's
So,
such a
Shout
great
out to
story.
Riley and his
yeah.
New
his or her?
home.
His
owners.
his adopter. Yeah.
Yes.
So I bring that up because like this stuff does work.
Yes.
So we're always grateful to like have the platform that we do, and for people who want to help us spread the word.
Absolutely.
I'm probably going to mention a bunch of our long stay dogs.
Please.
We had another dog, Spots. He just went on a little Petco shopping spree. Yesterday we took him, and he we found like this crown at Petco with little like straps that go over his ears, and he like wore the crown the entire time. I'm not usually like a costumes on dogs person.
Yeah.
I was like, we'll see this hat. If he doesn't like it, we'll take it off. He was just like trotting around wearing it. So Spots is amazing. He's also been here for quite a while. I mentioned Casadano. If someone's looking for a really active, like sporty dog, I've got a favorite, Jessica. She gets overlooked here because in her kennel, she like jumps all the way up to the ceiling practically. She barks a lot. But she's just like a young, active dog who, being in the kennel,
has a lot of
pent
energy
up all the time. When you get her out,
she's ready to go.
She's a lot more laid back. When she first came in, she really struggled with other dogs. She was kind of defensive, and she'd kind of like chase them around and be a little too nippy. But we've been working with her for like a year, and she's doing a lot better. So she might be open to a dog sibling. We always recommend like slow introductions, stuff like that. But those are kind of my favorites. I love cattle dogs. We don't have any long stay cattle dogs, but we have a owner surrender cattle dog, Franklin, who we're still getting to know, but he's here. He's available to adopt. Super cute.
Amazing.
Super cool guy.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm happy you got some of those names out there, and
I could keep going. Like I could just say names for an hour, but I'll spare you. They're all on our website. You can find them yourself.
I'm sure. I mean, we've gone around ourselves, and I feel like every time we go around, it's just like, like, oh my gosh.
I wish I had like a big ranch and I could take everyone home.
That's what everyone always says. They're like, if I had the property, I would adopt them all. There you go.
You mentioned, some initiatives that are happening and going to happen, the Valentine's blind date situation.
Yeah.
But is there any other initiatives that, you want to share? I know fees are waived right now. I don't know for how long.
Yeah, we also don't know for how long. We're kind of keeping an eye on our kennel population. Once that stabilizes, we really just need to have open kennels for the animals that continue to arrive. Yeah. And especially when we get emergent cases that come in, like sick or injured animals, we only have so much room in the vet's office for them. And we only have, we have like large kennels that we call medical kennels. And those sometimes are easier to keep dry. They're easier for an animal who really needs to recover to like unwind in. So we really just need adoptions and also fosters for large dogs so that we can like keep doing the work and keep helping all the dogs that come in.
If someone's like interested in fostering, like what should they do? What's the process for that? Because I feel like that kind of gets a little overlooked, or there's like some misconceptions with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we are prioritizing fosters for large dogs specifically. And I believe the best thing to do is to go on our website. You can go to vcas.us/foster and apply there. If you're looking at a social media and you see us put out like an urgent plea for a specific dog and you think you might be able to help that dog, you can always email us too. Our main email on the website, I think, is just info@vcas.us, and we can get in touch with you. For people who, can't necessarily take on a large dog, we might be accepting foster applications for small dogs or cats again in the future. It's just right now the bulk of our population is large dogs that we kind of have to focus our resources.
Got it.
No, definitely.
And fostering's pretty flexible here. Like we provide all the supplies. We prefer if you can take dogs for a little bit of a longer time. Yeah. But even like a couple days can be really helpful. It gives the dog a chance to relax, and it helps us learn more about them and how they do in like a home setting and stuff too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for you dog lovers out there, incredible opportunity here. There's so many dogs, and there's a lot of problems with the shelters, being out of room and stuff like that. So come out here and help and make a new friend for a few days and
Yeah.
maybe longer. You never know.
Yeah, I forgot to add, we did just create a website page that has a flyer that feature our long stay dogs, and
Okay.
it's printable.
Oh.
So if like you wanted to go out into the community and do something, you could print that flyer and like put it up at your local coffee shop or post it on your own social media. And the link to that, sorry, I have no idea what my bangs are doing right now. The link to that is vcas.us/long-stay-challenge. So we have a
Awesome.
challenge to take all the long stay dogs on like field trips.
Aw.
Get them
Amazing.
adopted,
Oh, that's
stuff
awesome.
like
We didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
We should
I
do
kinda
that.
We should do
Yeah,
that.
We
we
should
should
do
do
that.
Yeah,
We're
so
doing that.
right now it's only for staff and volunteers,
Okay.
Yeah.
only because there's a lot of like safety training that goes into
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we hope to have a version of it one day that is like there's an approved list of safe, easy dogs to take out that
Gotcha.
hopefully someone like off the streets or you guys can
Yeah.
come take a dog for a little adventure and then
Yeah.
That would be
Rain
so much
found
fun.
the treat pouch.
Yes,
so-
she did. She's going to town on
Yeah.
that.
I'm
Treat
surprised
bag.
I held her off for so long.
Yeah.
I think she deserves a little
Yeah, I
little
know.
treat.
Not your whole nose though.
Don't
Wait,
get
sit?
greedy.
Oh, you're already sitting. There you go. There you
So
go.
sweet.
Do it towards the camera.
There you go.
Get yourself adopted.
Yeah.
Atta girl. All right. I do have one more question for you.
Yeah.
And this might be the most important one.
Okay.
How can the average person out there help support you guys in any way? Volunteering,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. So volunteers for large dogs and fosters, kind of like I said, is always super helpful.
Yeah.
Sharing our stuff on social media goes a really long way. We see a lot of animals get adopted from that. Also, like, it sounds obvious, but practicing responsible pet ownership and keeping your dog out of the shelter up to date on their vaccines, spay and neutering your animals, and encouraging people in your life to do the same really goes a long way, because in a dream world, like, shelters don't exist, right? Because all the animals have homes and they're like
Yeah.
happy and healthy, and we're not needed. So if everyone can do their part and work towards that like wonderful utopia that might not be realistic, then it helps us out a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very well put.
Thank you. Thank
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us today.
Thank
It
you
has
so
been
much.
an absolute
you.
pleasure.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah, we're really excited to continue this partnership with you guys. Being so local, I've mentioned, but I got my dog here, so it's really cool to be a part of something special like
Yeah,
this. So,
yeah, we appreciate
again,
it.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
Adriana.
thank you
I don't
so
know
much
if you
for
have
your
any
time.
final thoughts.
No, we're just excited to be here and
Yes.
share more of these like lovely dogs. There are cats too, and bunnies.
Yeah.
You guys have bunnies.
Yeah, we sometimes have like birds and occasionally a reptile
Super
too.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all these dogs and cats and bunnies, and, they need homes, and just
Yes.
a great way for us to just try to help any way we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Bring
you
home a
guys.
new friend and feel really good about yourself because you're doing a good thing. So that's incredible. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give us a listen on any platform where you listen to your podcast. Give us a follow on social media at Fresh Patch. And also, if you are local to Southern California, come check out Ventura County Animal Services. They're amazing, and you will likely go home with a new best friend. So awesome. Thank you so
Thank
much one more
you.
time for coming, and see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening to the Fresh Patch Podcast, where good pets get it. We hope you enjoyed the show. Give us a like or a follow, and shop all real grass supplies at freshpatch.com.